Okay, I've been watching this extreme cold setup for the central U.S. for a couple of weeks now, and I didn't think there was enough evidence to make a video proving Haarp out in the Pacific, but now I do think there is abundant proof that Haarp and aerosol spraying in the eastern Pacific has set up this cold coming down through the central U.S., and I'm going to show you all this evidence. You can see the temperatures are -11, -13, 0, all the way from the Texas Panhandle all the way up into Canada. And look at the temperatures in Alaska. It's a horror. Alaska needs to be frozen solid this time of year if we're going to avoid this Arctic methane catastrophe. And here it is. It's over 37 degrees for half of the state. So let me show you what the jet stream has looked like for the last week. Today's December 30th, 2014, and I'm going to show you now December 23rd. So this is now 7 days ago. And we get to see the setup of how this happened. Okay, December 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th. Let me just let it run. Okay, first thing we notice is this looks natural here. You know, it's kind of wiggling around, but it's consistent. There's nothing terribly weird happening here. But from Asia to Hawaii, looks natural. From Hawaii to California, look at this. There's consistent blockage in the jet stream, and yet it's moving around constantly. Okay, so that's the past week. And these blockages are always clockwise, high pressure. Okay? Another thing, the Haarp downburst is always high pressure. They cannot make low pressure with the Haarp or the aerosol spray. So that's a good clue. Now, from a global standpoint, we can see, again, you know, this looks so natural here, like these other flows. You know, these other flows will get a kink in them, but it blows on through. But here, you get a kink there, it doesn't blow through, it reforms, it reforms, it reforms. And now we're going to jump up to see the current jet stream and jump a week into the future. Okay, so here is December 29th, December 30th. Here's the present. And let me let that run. Now we're seeing January 1st, January 2nd, January 3rd, January 4th, January 5th, January 6th. Okay, so again, this looks natural here. But as it passes over Hawaii, something is affecting it. A consistent blockage is being installed there. It's chaotic, and they're moving it around so nobody can actually see what's happening. So let me now go back to the water vapor maps over the eastern Pacific, and we're going to study this. Okay, December 23rd. Let it run. Okay. I need to show you the date so nobody's taking anything on faith here. Now here we have this powerful low pressure blowing into northern British Columbia. In fact, it just it looks pretty natural. Here's some aerosols being sprayed here. And again, the object is to keep this flowing clockwise. No low pressure here. So let's jump ahead. This is December 23, 600 Zulu. December 23, 220 Zulu. Sorry, play. Now look at this low pressure up here. It's not looking so good. Funny, it's kind of looking like something's squashing it right in the middle. Now we jump ahead. December 24th, 430 Zulu. And now we notice something very odd, very, very odd. This whole thing should be turning low pressure, counterclockwise, and yet here we have this cloud going clockwise, which is evidence of depressing air. Air being pushed down on top of this. Okay? I don't know how you can get much better evidence than that. So let's jump ahead again. Now this is December 24, 13 Zulu. Now this guy, oops, play. Look how that thing disappeared. Holy crap. Holy moly, man. Look at this. That thing was spinning like so much energy, multiple atom bombs. Suddenly there is absolutely no spin there. Okay, so now I want to take your attention down to Hawaii. The water around Hawaii is very warm, and yet you have this cold air coming down. So when those two meet, you're going to have powerful convection, and Mother Nature is going to try to get some low pressure started there. Once it starts, it's going to really spin up. This is December 25th, 2:30 Zulu. Zoom, play. Okay, so now here, just north of Hawaii, we have some low pressure building. Whoops. I don't know what's happening. Okay, so we're going to watch this because they are going to kill this low pressure for the next 3 solid days. Because if you look at the position, you know, obviously this low pressure is going to migrate up into here and kill their polar vortex high pressure, the mystery ridiculously resilient ridge. December 25th, 12:30 Zulu, play, zoom. Okay, so now we're looking at this low pressure over Hawaii. Suddenly it doesn't look so good. Wow, what happened to it? It looked so good the day before. Okay, so now so that's what it happens about 12 hours later. And jumping ahead, December 25th, 16 Zulu, play, zoom. Now we definitely have some low pressure there. We're right north of Hawaii. Look at that sucker. Warm water, cold air. That's going to be a powerful spin. But what happens to it? Let me jump ahead. December 26th, 16 Zulu, so unfortunately I kind of missed an update there. I wasn't anticipating making another video on this, but there's just so much good evidence here. I couldn't resist. Okay, so here's Hawaii. Now we got this low pressure up here. Now this was where it was spinning. Now notice, wow, what happened to it? And this isn't because it's just moving over cold water or that it's getting shear from the jet stream. The interesting thing here is that sections of these clouds are moving clockwise. And I'll show you that in the next picture. Zoom, play, and whoops. Okay, so, and another thing about the Haarp downburst, they heat the ionosphere and it presses air down, and if you kill a low pressure in one place, it squeezes out somewhere else because Mother Nature, this is rising air. You can't just stop rising air with a single downburst, downdraft of air. So what happens here? It's spinning up again down here. And this looks like an area of aerosol spraying right here. And of course, if they spray aerosol here, it gets carried over these building thunderstorms as a hot air layer, capping inversion. Okay, so somewhere in here, the low pressure is going to build. Right here. Right there we see a new low pressure building. So let's jump ahead. December 27th, 18 Zulu. Look how this thing gets killed over and over. And we actually see 3 separate areas, centers of low pressure. Of course up here, here, and here. And then this is getting smashed down. It's hard to go through these maps real quick because there's so much detail that actually could be discussed. Okay, so faster. Now this one here is showing, sorry, I need to check the date again, December 28th, 5 Zulu. Zoom. Okay, so I want to step through this and go nice and slow. Okay, so obviously this is where the low pressure is squeezed out to. And the thing is, some of these clouds here in the middle are going straight north or even having a slight right-hand twist, like this one right here. Okay, so it starts down here. Just let it play. Okay, this cloud here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. This cloud right here, it's going straight north and it has a slight right-hand twist to it. Everything around here is trying to turn counterclockwise, and yet this guy is going no twist at all, no turn, or a slight turn to the right, because it looks sort of like a split pea or something. Anyway, you could study this map for an hour and learn all kinds of strange, abnormal things are happening. Stop that and go ahead. There is actually a absolutely magnificent Haarp downburst I'm going to show you in a second. Okay, December 30th, 5 Zulu. Okay, see now they have, after, 4 days of fighting this low pressure, they prevented it. Now here looks like some aerosol sprays. But down here by Hawaii, oh my gosh, low pressure sprung up again. And look how powerful that is. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 thunderstorm complexes, with this one being crushed right off the bat. So we're going to jump ahead. Let me get the time on this. December 30th, 5 Zulu. So now they've got to kill that one because that's going to go right into the heart of their artificial high pressure. So December 30th, 21 Zulu. So this is, 15 hours later or so. And I've got to zoom and play. Now, look at this sucker. Ah, come on. Okay, so this is now what that low pressure was. And we see, we still got this thing trying really hard to spin up. And it's just not, something's not letting it. Now if we go to visible light mode, that's where the treasure is. Here's visible light mode, because they screwed up here. They actually show a Haarp downburst, December 30th, 21 Zulu. This is the sun setting on the Pacific. And what do we see? Here's this storm complex. Come on, come on. Here's Hawaii. Here's our storms trying to build. Now what happens? We see the classic Haarp downburst right here, which I have not seen in many weeks, maybe longer. Zoom in here, and I probably, no, it's fine. Anyway, this ring here, this is low pressure. Look at this. This is trying to turn counterclockwise, and yet we still have a Haarp outflow boundary of high pressure being pressed down right here. In fact, we have a small one here, a large one here, another large one here, a large one here. 4 separate Haarp downbursts being directed to kill this high pressure here. Sorry, low pressure, the rising air. And again, they heat the ionosphere. Oh gosh, it's many miles up. It expands so fast, it goes from freezing to thousands of degrees in a few seconds. It's like a balloon popping, and that presses this air straight down. And when this downburst of air hits the more dense layers of the atmosphere, it spreads out radially, and it rolls like a rolling pin. And that's this circular cloud that we see right here. This is what I call the Haarp outflow boundary, or the Haarp roll cloud. And haven't seen this in many weeks. Many weeks. This is a major screw up for this program. We're not supposed to be able to see this. Okay, so this is confirmation of the megawatt microwave transmitters killing a low pressure building right in the the center of their man-made high-pressure zone. Okay, and that's just really a beautiful shot of that too. And you know, the clouds in the center of the Haarp downburst, they're pressed down. The dry air presses down on top of these clouds and they go away. We can see that here. We see that here. This small guy here. You know, this is only 8 frames, so it'd be nice to have a few more frames. But this is the kind of thing that you're looking for to see a Haarp downburst. You know, right at the beginning, you can see this powerful spin, and then as this ring expands outward, look, it's not spinning anymore. Can people see that? I hope so. This is weather warfare. And what are they doing? Why are they doing it? Because it will convince the U.S. Congress and the American people that we're having an ice age when the Earth is actually heating catastrophically. And, you know, it's minus 13 in Colorado, or Wyoming, but in Alaska, 37, 38 degrees. Going to be even warmer tomorrow, I imagine. 39 degrees. Wow. One last thing I got to say is this wind. Here's the wind pattern, or sorry, temperature pattern for the Arctic. This is the North Pole. Here's the North Pole. Here's Alaska. And this dark green in Alaska is 32 to 41 degrees. Most of the state is well above freezing. But what I have to point out here is, between this island here, this is Siberia, and this is the East Siberian Arctic Shelf. This sea here is only 150 feet deep, and below this frozen sediment is enough methane to turn our planet into a broiler oven hell and make life impossible. So them driving this warm air up into Alaska is an act of planetary terrorism and ecocide. You know, how do you kill a planet? You do this right here, what they're doing. Okay, between these two islands here, this is the East Siberian Arctic Shelf. And Natalia Shakova and others have proved there's an unbelievable quantity of methane that is now beginning to vent. Okay, this is doomsday. Every time that they push that warm air up into the Arctic, this is an unforgivable act, criminal act of terrorism. Okay, and you can see northern Canada here. This blue color is 5 to 14 degrees. So, you know, how can you say it any clearer than that? This is an act of planetocide or ecocide, total ecocide. But this area between these two islands, north of Siberia, this is the most important area on planet Earth. This has got to stay frozen or we're all dead. We will see a nightmare like you can't even imagine. Okay, folks, this is what I wanted to cover. That we are being messed with. We are being messed with. These Navy SBX megawatt microwave transmitters are setting up this ice age coming Psy-Op. Don't fall for it. And these guys are criminals. They need to be arrested and tried for genocide. Thanks for watching.